What's up, guys? It's your boy EWLE, aka Corrupt Alpha, back out with another video. And today, I'm going to do my NBA hot takes. All right. First things first. I think there is a solid argument for LeBron to not be in the top five, or to not be in the top three. I'm sorry. Um, I think there's a solid argument on why you would not put LeBron in your top three, and I would not even be mad at it. A lot of people a lot of people that grew up with Jordan, what I'm saying, love the thing and think the fact that Jordan's the GOAT. A lot of people that grew up with Kobe, think that Kobe's the GOAT. And a lot of people that grew up with Bron think that Bron's the GOAT. I grew up, watching the tail end of Kobe's career and really watching Bron. And in the time that I've watched the NBA, you know what I'm saying, and really just been a diehard fan, I'm not getting the hype. Curry in the past 7 years, right? Since 2018, Braun was something different. But Curry outside of from 2019, or you know what I'm saying, from 2019 to 2025, going in 2026, has been the better player. He's been better than Braun through and through. And I'm not just saying that because of his elite scoring. I'm saying that because of his playmaking. You know what I'm saying? He's not a cone out there on defense. Not saying that, he's good at defense either, but he's not a cone out there on defense. He's averaging like at least a steal a game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the best numbers, but just Curry seemed to have dominated him every single time. And I know Katie, this and that. But listen, I honestly hate another hot take. I hate the debate on, you know, KD building a super team when Braun did the same thing. Braun built a super team with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and lost to the Mavericks, who had nobody but broke ass jump shot Sean Marion and Dirk Nowitzki. You know what I'm saying? They really didn't have anybody for real. You lost to a lesser team, so let's think about that. You lost to a lesser team. And apparently, Dirk had a fucking flu game. Apparently, the nigga was sick. You know what I'm saying? Because they were making fun of him. You remember that video? They're making fun of Dirk, coughing and shit. I think I'm sick. This and that, just to get their ass beat. Y'all making fun of a nigga that just dogged your ass, twin. Let's think about that. Like, let's be honest here, right? So that's the first thing. I think that Braun's the lose to Mavericks hurts him a lot. I think him going to Miami is the worst thing for his career. Like, you built a super team with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and he was there for what, 4 years, or was it three? I believe it was 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he was there for 4 years, and in the whole 4 years he was there, he won two championships. You have a super team. That's like having Shaq and Kobe, a good duo already. You know what I'm saying? I'm not comparing Chris Bosh to Shaq and Kobe. I'm just saying for that time, that's like having Shaq and Kobe for that time. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, you have a big man, you have a shooting guard that can score a lot, you have a big man that can hold down the paint. You know what I'm saying? That's like having Shaq and Kobe, and then adding Jason, or not, well, not Jason Kidd. That's like having Shaq and Kobe and then adding T Mac. You know what I'm saying, to the team. T Mac on the 2000. Wait, when did T Mac get drafted? I forgot when T Mac got drafted. But just T Mac on the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe, really doesn't matter who's the supporting cast. They're gonna win a couple of championships, 100%. So it's not surprising that he won those two in Miami. I'm not saying that they shouldn't count. Yes, they do count. They're still championships at the end of the day. But his losses in Miami are so detrimental that you're sitting here looking at it like, oh, he lost with the super team. KD didn't really lose with the super team, did he? You know what I'm saying? He went there and he got business done. You know what I'm saying? He won his two championships in what, 3 years? Tore his ACL or Achilles, whatever one it is. You know what I'm saying? Had a season in an injury that most people don't even get to recover from. You know what I'm saying, in their career, and came back like everything was good on some shit. You know what I'm saying? But in the time that he was there, he got shit done. LeBron cannot say the same. He went 50%. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really do what he was cracked up to be. He's cracked up to be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And he just, that's not GOAT like to me. You know what I'm saying? Second thing, second reason why I think LeBron, I think me personally, I think LeBron is the second best, greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? That's just me being perfectly honest. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the second greatest player of all time. And maybe if you catch me on a good day where I'm sitting here and I'm, I'm saying, in the mood, I might say the nigga's third. All right. I might say Magic, Tim, Braun. That's being honest. Tim is my third. I have Kareem and Kobe at 4 and 5. They're interchangeable. You can put it wherever you want to. But, you know what I'm saying? I think there's a genuine reason behind, putting LeBron at 5 or 4 if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Kobe's greater than him, or what I'm saying, better than him by any means, and I don't think that Kareem is better than him by any means. But I do think that Tim Duncan has the right to say I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Because Tim Duncan, he had the thing is with Tim Duncan, the thing that gets misconstrued a lot is that it's not really misconstrued, but he has 5 championships, right? During those 5 championships, he never really was on a super team. You know what I'm saying? Like how Kobe for 2000 or from 1996 when he entered the league, or not when he entered the league, but from Kobe to 1996 to you know what I'm saying, to when Shaq left. Kobe was for the most part until that last year, was it 2004, maybe even part of 2003. Kobe was the second option. When Kobe became the first option, that's what like kind of made Shaq unhappy. You know what I'm saying? Was it was Kobe became the first option? The organization started favoring Kobe over Shaq, right? But Shaq's over here, the first option. Doesn't take away from the fact that Kobe still won the titles, right? And he was still part of that team. You know what I'm saying? So listen, my point that I'm getting to, the reason why I bring that up is because Tim Duncan was never on the super team. You had you had the whole thing with fucking, David Robinson and Tim Duncan, the Twin Towers. That was, super good duo. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan was fresh in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really a super team. Tim Duncan wasn't even in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan wasn't in his prime. He was well off his prime just because he's super young. And, you have one player in their prime and a good supporting cast, and they won a title. They won two. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, you get down to it, and he has Manu and Tony Parker, and for the 2014 title, Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? And like, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? But Tim Duncan was even like, he was the second best player as like what, a 39-year-old on the Spurs when Kawhi won the title. You know what I'm saying? When the Spurs won the title in 2014, right? He was the second best player behind Kawhi, behind a young Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's 39 years old, still being the second greatest player on the team. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron's second greatest player on his team right now. If he stays on Lakers, that is. But hey, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to argue with that. Only thing is, LeBron is literally, made a super team with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. And if we take those 2 championships away, he only has 2 titles. One with the Celtics, or the not Celtics, the Cavaliers. That Cavaliers title is a damn good championship. I could sit here and be like, yeah, that this nigga took them from hell to a championship contender. You know what I'm saying? To a championship team. I can 100% agree with that. After that, what did he do? He won the Mickey Mouse Championship in 2020. I saw this one video saying that, oh, he's the, he's this, he's that, you know what I'm saying? Because, that championship's actually harder. No, the fuck, it's not, twin. It's really not. I'm being honest with you. You're trying to tell me that that championship's harder than other championships? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? The fucking Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the Mavericks, folks. You know what I'm saying? Shit doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So just saying that alone is kind of dumb. But yeah, I personally think that LeBron is 2 or 3. And for the sake of this video, you know what I'm saying, since we're doing hot takes, and since, I want to kind of test with this a little bit, I think LeBron's the third greatest player of all time. I think it goes Jordan, Tim Duncan, LeBron, and Kobe, and then Kareem. And the reason why Kareem has to be top 5, like, my top 5, in my opinion, you can't change it out. I'll argue with that all day. You can't put Magic above Kareem or anything like that, because Kareem has 6 championships and 6 MVPs. I don't know. I don't know how many people. How many people? I don't know how many MVPs Jordan has, but I'm pretty sure it isn't 6. Right? If it is 6, that's still, that's kind of showing how great he is on some stuff. But you know what I'm saying? 6 championships, 6 MVPs. Think about that shit. That shit is wild. That shit is crazy. To be like, yeah, I retired with 6 championships, 6 MVPs, and the leading scorer that stood for like 40 years, damn near. You know what I'm saying? LeBron broke it 40 years later, and now he's still the second leading scorer of all time. You know what I'm saying? That's still a crazy, crazy thing to just be like, yeah, I just did that. That was my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is crazy, folks. So you got that, right? That's my first hot take. Second hot take. I saw, and I'm not really sure if this is a hot take. I saw, what's their YouTube channel name? It's three guys. It's the podcast. Oh shit. Nigga that looks like Mikal Bridges. Shit. Damn it. Okay. Anyways, my fault. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, basically they did. I just literally just watched it. And it kind of made me want to make this video. They did a ranking, or not really a ranking, but like a yay or nay to Bleacher Report's top 100 players, right? And I'm sitting here looking at it, and they're somewhat agreeing with the stuff that I just don't think they should agree with, right? Jason Tatum is ranked 93rd for Bleacher Report's all-time top 100. Now, do I think he should be ranked 93rd? No. I think he should be ranked around 80-ish. Not too much higher than what he is. You know what I'm saying? They got niggas like, um, oh shit, who was it? Chauncey Billups is higher than Tatum. And hey, there's an argument. Chauncey Billups is a better winner than Tatum is. And, you know, I guess that's correct, but fucking Tatum is Tatum. I'm not gonna lie. I never grew up with Chauncey Billups. I grew up with Jason Tatum, and from what I know, like the ball knowledge that I know, I believe that Tatum's a little bit of a better player. Just being honest with you, I think Chauncey Billups, and like we're talking about the '90s here, like they're in the '90s, so you know, say they just made the top 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to think that you know, maybe Chauncey Billups isn't even in the top 100. Maybe switch Chauncey Billups out for somebody like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who just won an MVP season, scoring like the most points in a season. What was it, like the most points in a season since fucking, I don't even remember the fucking stats one, but basically he scored a shit ton of points, had a shit ton of assists. You know what I'm saying? All this. Don't think he should have won MVP, but hey, at the end of the day, it is an accomplishment. So you know what I'm saying? No matter if you know is the consensus that he should have won it or not, still, right? They have uh they have Damian Lillard ranked 60th, right? Have a little bit of issues with that. Dame hasn't really done anything. You know what I'm saying? What has Dame done? He won. Did he win a 3-point contest? Probably. He won a dunk contest. In the grand scheme of things, as a all-star game, it does not mean shit. Damian Lillard was never on a real winning team for most of his career. For a lot of his career, he was on the Trailblazers back like when they were shit. You know what I'm saying? And not like you know what I'm saying? I know where they had LaMarcus Aldridge and shit like that, and that was a cool team. You know what I'm saying? They were championship contenders. Since LaMarcus Aldridge left the Trailblazers, or yeah, after he left the Trailblazers, you know what I'm saying? What has Dame done? No LaMarcus Aldridge, nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really done much. You have the shot, you know, over Paul George. That's lovely too. You know what I'm saying? But Damian Lillard should not be a top 60 player. He shouldn't be a top 70 player. I'd rank him right around where Tatum's at, top 80. You know what I'm saying? Give him an 80 spot. Thinking another thing I don't really like, you know what I'm saying? And maybe this is just bias. It's not really bias because I don't really like dude like that, but it's just more of I think that he should be higher than this. I think he should be around the 60 or 70 spot. In my opinion, he's a top 75 player of all time. It's Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, the second greatest shooter of all time, maybe third or fourth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to say that it's Curry, then Ray Allen, or Curry, then Harden, and I could see those arguments. Me personally, I think he's the third greatest shooter of all time. I think you go Curry, Harden, Klay. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like Klay has done so much for the Warriors when he was there. He was such a key piece. He wasn't a role player. He was a third star. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as big as a star as KD and Curry, but he was still a star at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh yeah, we have Curry. You know, we got Curry, we got KD. You know, we also, we also got, Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like we got Curry, Klay, KD, Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Draymond's not really, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know no diss to Draymond, you know what I'm saying? He's a good player and all. I'm just saying like he's not up there with Klay's caliber. You feel me? Point is, you got all that, and plus Dame's like, okay, I understand what Dame did. You know what I'm saying? Dame, did this and did that. He's a good scorer and all that. Twin Klay has 4 titles. I understand. In the grand scheme of things, titles may not matter. This nigga Klay got 4 titles though. Well, like, you know what I'm saying? This nigga got 4 titles on some shit. You feel me? He's got 4 titles, and on a winning team. You know what I'm saying? On a winning team, made, when you think of the Warriors franchise, a lot of people, and I mean damn near almost everybody, is not going to think of fucking Wilt Chamberlain or Rick Barry, not Chris Mullen. People are going to think about the Splash Brothers, Clay and Curry. A lot of niggas, when the Warriors are brought up today, nobody even brings up KD that much. You know what I'm saying? Except for if they're like KD haters, they're just like, oh yeah, built a super team, fucking weirdo. Same niggas that probably like LeBron too. It's just, I'm not saying I have any reason to not like LeBron. I think he's a good player. I think he's overhyped. Just being honest. So listen, just to be saying, Klay Thompson is a top 70 player of all time. I would even go so far to say he is 60 over, or not 60 overall, but 60. In the 60s. Think about this: the nigga's defense is good. You know what I'm saying? The nigga is he was the best defender on the team. He was the best defender on the team and the second best shooter on the team. A real 3 and D guy, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to tell me that he's not ahead of Damian Lillard, who doesn't have the defense that he does, doesn't have, like, he probably has the overall scoring more than Clay does, but he wasn't on a crucial championship team. He wasn't a crucial part of a championship. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even win a championship, hasn't won an MVP, which neither has Clay, but I'm not even, trying to bring that up in the conversation. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? He has no reason to be ahead of Clay in this argument. So that's something else. Next thing, I think, and I think I'm in the minority here, I think that Curry is a better player, or I don't think Curry is a better player than Magic. A lot of these, new gen niggas, hear me out. Magic was the phenomenal passer, and if we put Magic in today's league, he would torch niggas. He'd be dropping like 30 and 11. You know what I'm saying? And if we was to put Curry back when Magic played, he'd be getting like fucking 35 and 7. Still good numbers, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But just saying, for the time period, it was different. Back when, 80s and 90s, you know what I'm saying? When you're a point guard, you didn't really shoot the ball. That's why it was called point guard. You know what I'm saying? It was to distribute the points. You know what I'm saying? Shooting guards to shoot the ball. Small forwards. You know what I'm saying? Power forwards. Centers are supposed to be the centerpiece of the whole or the whole team. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, the back then, your main scorer is supposed to be a big man. You know what I'm saying? That's why uh that's why Shaq was so good. That's why Shaq was so good. That's why Kareem was so good. That's why Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain is looked at as good players. When you're a big man, you're supposed to be the one scoring, at least back then. Back to the basket bigs always were the most ball dominant players. Even if you had a good point guard that could score, the most ball dominant players are going to be your centers, your bigs. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. Back then, that's just how it was. Nowadays, point guards are more shifty and like or more, what I'm saying, needed for a championship. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Fucking in 3 years, we're gonna see the battle of shooting guards or small forwards. You already kind of saw the battle of shooting guards in the 2000s and then in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people like Kobe came up. Allen Iverson played shooting guard. Dwayne Wade, Shrek T-Mac, Vince Carter, those guys played shooting guard. And for the time, they did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? They were just pure scorers. They were pure bucket getters. All the shooting guards were pure bucket getters. You never had a shooting guard, except for AI, out here getting like over 7 assists a game. They're all just pure bucket getters. They just scored the ball and did nothing else. And that was their job on the team. With Magic, his job was to pass the ball, distribute the ball. You know what I'm saying? He was still score. He had a bag on him. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to highlights, Larry Bird's a more flashy player. Don't get me wrong. I like Larry Bird's play more than I like Magic's. You know what I'm saying? His play style and stuff like that is very flashy. In my opinion, Kobe and Larry Bird on the same team would have been one of the greatest duos to ever grace the court. That's me being honest. I think that the dynamic between Kobe and Larry would be so great on the same team that it would be damn near perfect. The only other perfect thing you can get is prime Shaq and prime MJ. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe prime Shaq and prime Curry. Prime Shaq and prime, Magic. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that. But when it comes to that regard, I do think that Magic is going to go down or he should go down as a greater point guard. I think by the time that it's all said and done, Curry, retires. He's going to get a lot of necessary glazing. You know what I'm saying? But maybe glaze a little too hard, where people have him even in the top 5. And I'm not even. Hey, If he finishes, you know what I'm saying, gets another, MVP, which I know is not going to happen, or even gets another title, you know what I'm saying, if he ends up winning 5 titles, you know what I'm saying, then you like, you know what I'm saying, you can't argue that anymore. I'd have to put him above Magic at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's just me being honest. Second thing, uh, kind of regarding back to what I was just talking about, uh, I think that Larry Bird is and this is what I'm gonna say, better player than Magic. You know what I'm saying? But not a greater player. Now I'm gonna tell you what that means and what I mean by that. He's a better player. Okay, he does everything better than Magic. He can pass better than, well, they pass about the same. They really have the most flashiest passes you've ever seen. They could throw a dot, they could throw a dime through an asshole or wherever the saying is. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They're diamond shit left and right. Larry Bird is a greater shooter. He's a better dunker. He's better at getting to the basket. He has a greater mid-range game. He's a better rebounder. He's a way better defender. Like I said, a way better shooter. You know what I'm saying? All this. And he's an inch taller than Magic is. Or no, they're the same height, right? Because Larry Bird was 6'9". I think Magic was 6'9" as well. I thought Magic was 6'8" from him, but I think I'm wrong. Okay. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga was, you know what I'm saying? That nigga is definitely more skilled than Magic is at everything he does. But that does not make him a greater player. Only reason I'm saying that, you know what I'm saying? You have to win more, and Magic and Bird, if you asked me which one I'd rather have to carry a team, it would be Magic. Somebody that could score and facilitate the ball as good as he did, I'm picking Magic, being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Larry Bird could do much on a bad team. And that's not me trying to be hating at all, because I do like Larry Bird. Larry Bird's one of my top 5 favorite players of all time, probably. You know what I'm saying? I love Larry Bird. But I do think that if you ask me who I want to carry a team, Magic Johnson can show so many flashy passes. It can make bums look good. You know what I'm saying? And fucking bring Kwame Brown, just 4 Kwame Browns and 1 Magic Johnson. You're gonna see 2 Kwame's getting 30 points per game, and Magic's still gonna get a calm 20 and 20. You know what I'm saying? With getting 10 assists or 10 rebounds as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he's just that damn good. You know what I'm saying? Skill wise. Second best thing, or second, or another hot take. Let me say this. Another hot take. I think that if you wanted to build the greatest duo of all time, it needs to involve Prime Shaq, right? Prime Shaq, and I'm talking specifically 2002 to like 2003. Prime Shaq was a fucking animal. And Colin Sexton's down. Prime Shaq is a fucking animal, right? And think about this. You know how the double big, the Twin Towers worked out with San Antonio, right? Worked out perfectly. So you can have another big in Shaq on the same team. Preferably a big that can shoot. Dirk and Shaq, great duo. Tim Duncan and Shaq, great duo. Kareem and Shaq, not so much. But you know what I'm saying? Kobe and Shaq, we already know is a great duo. Michael Jordan and Shaq would have been Kobe and Shaq, but basically just a better version of Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Kobe fucking 2.0. Kobe with 99 attributes. LeBron and Shaq would have been crazy. The dimes from LeBron would have kept Shaq happy. Maybe the greatest, you know what I'm saying, duo of all time. Maybe the greatest duo of all time. Maybe LeBron and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? I actually want to do that in 2K. See which one's a greater duo, LeBron and Shaq or Kobe and Tim. You know what I'm saying? Or Kobe and Larry and LeBron and Tim, whichever one I feel like doing. I might do both. I don't know. But yeah, this is all I'm saying. But yeah, I think that if you pair Shaq with anybody, Curry would be good. You could stick Clay and Shaq together, and that's damn near like getting, diet soda version of Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? It's Klay Thompson, damn near. You know what I'm saying? They're both some good scorers. They could score on a dime. Clay doesn't have a bag like Kobe does. They're good, very good defensive guys. You know what I'm saying? Good key parts on winning teams overall. You feel me? But yeah. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, another hot take. And I'm not sure if this is a hot take. It shouldn't be. It should not be a hot take. And I just don't think that niggas nowadays know ball. That man, John Stockton, is a top 20 player of all time. I know what you're thinking. Half of you are like, who the fuck is John Stockton? The other half of you is saying, what the hell are you talking about? Hey, let me get to it. John Stockton is the leader of assists, the leader of steals, has, I forgot his amount of points, but I believe he has a good little bit of points, around the same amount that Curry does, if I'm not mistaken, right now. And I know Curry's got a little bit more time on his career, and also, you know what I'm saying, Stockton would have played longer than Curry. I understand that. So, you know what I'm saying, it is, you know, a little bit about longevity as well, but still, to have an all-time leading stat in 2 winning turnovers, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason why I said winning is because, you know, LeBron's the all-time leader in 2 stats, but it's turnovers and points. I'm not going to count turnovers as a stat as if it's like a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So, you know what I'm saying? All time leading in 2 different categories, 2 winning categories. You know what I'm saying? Took your team to the finals with somebody that we shall not name who likes 13-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? You know, fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? Made a finals appearance with him. Did lose. Lost to Jordan, though. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Not that bad. Overall, you know what I'm saying, Stockton was supposed to get, like, from what I heard from analysts and even other people, was John Stockton was like this year's Con Knipple. He was a sneaky pick that could go all the way up to like fucking 1, 2, or 3. That's how good Stockton was coming into the draft. You know what I'm saying? So, let alone how good he became after. It's crazy. And I think that if he was to pair Stockton up with somebody better than Karl Malone, Karl Malone is known as one of the greatest as well. And the reason why I'm saying he is really because his points. A lot of people say that Karl Malone, you know, has high points, so it means he must be good. Almost like I don't remember the exact percentage. It was a shit. It was a pretty big percentage, but a lot of his points came from the free throw line. Karl Malone is the leader in free throws made all time, I believe, unless LeBron has, you know, overtaken him for that title. But he is the leader in all-time made free throws and all-time attempts, or maybe no, not all-time attempts, but just all-time makes, right? So you got to think, you know what I'm saying? The niggas, you know what I'm saying? The niggas, you know, he's taking a lot of free throws. Those do not count on as assists for John Stockton. So John Stockton had somebody like Shaq, Shaq and Stockton. Um, which, okay, that wouldn't make any sense because, like, where Stockton, or, like, you know, Shaq was drafted a little bit after Stockton. But we can even do that. Shaq and Stockton. Stockton and Hakeem. You know, somebody like that. Somebody that could really just score, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the paint. A big man that he could pair up with and just score in the paint would be such a good piece to that team. You know what I'm saying? Saying Karl Malone and Stockton is the greatest duo of all time is a wild thing to say because Stockton is severely underrated. One of the greater point guards of all time, my top 5. But also, you know what I'm saying, gets misconstrued a little bit because he could have got a lot more than 15,000 assists if Karl Malone wasn't really like a free throw seeker. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Karl Malone was just, you know, somebody that was as dominant as Shaq, I couldn't even get mad at it, right? Another little thing that I got. Russell Westbrook's a top 30 player of all time. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Russell Westbrook is a top 30 player of all time. And I think that James Harden is as well. Let me not say top 30. Top 40. Let me say that. I think he's a top 40 player of all time. I think both of them are. All right. Now, where you want to place them at is up to you. But I think if you don't have, you know, if you don't have Westbrook and Harden in your top 40, you're tripping. You're tripping. I think that Harden is has one of the greatest MVPs ever. Like, that's the season where he won MVP was a wild ass stat line. Russell Westbrook averaging a triple double as a 6'3" point guard. Now he's listed at 6'2", so maybe 6'2" point guard. You know what I'm saying? It is crazy, and people aren't giving him recognition because of like what's happened in the last couple of years. If he never, which was crazy because I saw so much shit today on Instagram about how while Russell Westbrook had time on the Lakers, he was second in points behind LeBron. He was first in almost everything else. You know what I'm saying? So to say that he was like shit for them is crazy. It just wasn't a good fit. They both played good. It wasn't a good fit. Like same thing with Dame and Giannis. The fit wasn't the best, but they both played good. Even though they didn't play off of each other, they played good basketball. Not really because they're together, but just because they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with Russell Westbrook and LeBron and Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, Russell Westbrook is should go down as a top 40 greatest player of all time, and not too far out my top five greatest point guards of all time. I think he has an argument to be in top five. Just me personally, I want to put him there. All right. Second, or I keep saying second like it's the second thing I've ever talked about. No, another thing. Uh, I think that, and this is me being honest, I think that Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer of all time. I'm not sure if that's a hot take, but I know a lot of people say Jordan. I know another lot of people say Curry. Um, you know, Beasley has talked a lot. You know, talked about a lot in the past. You know, a couple days or not a couple days, but a couple months. You know, what I'm saying how good of a scorer he is. You know, because he went viral for the whole thing with Lance Stevenson and all that, right? All that shit, right? And I think that KD is the greatest scorer of all time. Not saying that he should be number one for scoring all time. I'm just saying like his style of scoring. He could be slow, methodical. He could be fast paced, and you know what I'm saying, do it raw pause. You know what I'm saying. He can do all this thing. Shoot a three. He's lethal from free throw, lethal from mid range. He can, you know what I'm saying, dunk the ball, lay the ball up there, all that shit. You know what I'm saying. And I think overall that makes him probably the greatest scorer of all time, right? Also, I'm trying to think about what else. Um, is there any other hot takes I can think of off the top of my head? Uh, I, I I really don't think there is. Oh, there is something I can think about. I think that Dirk Nowitzki is going to go down, or I think that okay, let me say it like this. I think that Nikola Jokic is going to go down as a better player than Dirk Nowitzki when it's all said and done. Do I think of right now? No. But when I think of if the career is over with, I think that Jokic should go down all time as the greatest, or not the greatest, but a better player overall than Dirk Nowitzki, and possibly even a greater player than Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon. Said it. And another thing, I think there's arguments. Don't saying I agree with these arguments, but I think there's arguments to not put Shaq in your top 10 all time because of the free throw reasons. You know what I'm saying? The perimeter defense, options. Like, yeah, like teams had to learn how to shoot with Shaq being in the paint. Like, that's how crazy scary he was. But not gonna lie, beyond that paint, he wasn't locking shit else down. He couldn't shoot a free throw to save his life. And he couldn't even shoot a three or a mid range to save his life. Now, which is kind of crazy because back when he played in Orlando, and back when he was in college, he had a mid range bag on him. You know what I'm saying? He had a little bit of mid range on him for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he came to the league, and it's just like that all stopped for whatever reason. Like, I really don't know why. He came to the league, and it kind of got worse in Orlando. Like, we didn't really see him shoot it that much. And then once he got to LA, he didn't even attempt a mid range, and if he did, he missed it like horribly. You know what I'm saying? So like, Shaq's just known for being somebody that's super athletic and super big. Shaq is literally. I'm not gonna. Okay, a little different. Shaq is like the equivalent of Zion Williamson if Zion Williamson was 7 foot tall and couldn't shoot. Am I wrong? Zion Williamson is athletic as hell. He can, dunk, do all this shit. The only problem with Zion Williamson is he has problems with his weight, all right, and he has injury problems. Shaq never really had too many bad injury problems, but problems with his weight. And I said if he couldn't shoot and he was 7 foot, that's damn near the same player. Um, I believe that is all the hot takes that I have for today. I will write some down and maybe do a part two to this if I get a lot of heat in the comments. If somebody, if I start getting death threats, I knew that did some good. I'm not rage baiting on this either. Every single take that I've said today is the honest truth. And my truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say the honest truth. It's all opinions at the end of the day. It's my honest truth. Um, Oh, last but not least, I don't think Curry is a top 10 player of right now. as of right now, again, like I said, all-time career might be a little different, after points is dealt in and all that shit, assists as well. No, Curry's not a top 10 player. I have him in my 11 or 12 spot. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope that, I actually will get some returning viewers after this because, I might just push my career down the toilet. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And I think that I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. If y'all want another hot takes video, I think I'm gonna make a Kobe video. I believe I haven't made one yet this year, so that will be made relatively soon, possibly today. I'm gonna make that, and yeah, if y'all want any other build videos, rebuilds, anything else, I will look in the comments and I will take care of all that. With that being said, hope to see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.